Recently, I've been trying to avoid being negative about TF2 because I think there's enough people doing that and I don't want to be part of it, really, at all. But today, since I did a video last year called The Best TF2 Updates, I feel like it's only right to talk about some of the updates I didn't like as much. Also, speaking on that Best TF2 Updates video that I made, it really wasn't a great video, so maybe at some point I'll revisit it and make it a little bit better. Maybe I won't, we'll never know. But it does fill me with confidence that I've got a lot better at making videos over the past year, so that's exciting. Anyway, today I want to talk about a couple of the updates for TF2 that I really wasn't a very big fan of. Now, starting this list off with probably the most obvious candidate for a list like this, the end of the line update. For me, this update had a lot of promise. It had an insane SFM animation made for it, so you really thought this update was going to be big. The animation was insane, like I said, but the update, not so much. I remember everybody thinking that we had been promised the map CP Snowplow until Valve basically said that it had been taken out because it was apparently too confusing for new players. Valve's decision to not put CP Snowplow in the end of the line update basically made it a flop before it even released. People were disappointed with it the second it came out because it didn't have the map we all thought we were going to get. They did cave to the community later on though, adding it in a future update, but by then the perfect moment to have the map come into the game, you know, with the movie-like animation promoting the update that was meant to have the map in it, yeah, the moment had passed and people didn't really care that much anymore. And it definitely wasn't going to save the end of the line update either. So when this update came out, what did it actually give us? So the end of the line update released with a brand new weapon, which was really exciting, except it was a reskin, so still cool. I don't think I've seen somebody use it in years though. We also got 23 new cosmetics, which honestly aren't too bad to be honest. There are a couple of good ones in there. There were 4 new unusual effects and 1 new pyro taunt. And there was a bunch of ducks around the maps as well, which didn't really end up doing anything unless you had a duck token. And even then, all that did was level up and not much else. The unusual effects themselves weren't actually that bad. I quite liked most of the ones that got added in. And the pool party taunt is a pretty cool pyro taunt. But genuinely, if you compare this update, which was a major update by the way, to what we got given for Smithmas in 2020, you would have thought that the end of the line update was the one that was just a regular seasonal update. Obviously, that's only if you're basing it on what actually got put in the game, because I don't think Valve would really do a huge SFM animation for a seasonal update. But if you take that away from the end of the line update, it really wasn't anything too special. And talking about it like that kind of makes me realize just how different the expectations of TF2 updates have changed over the years. The only thing that Smithmas really didn't have that would have made it like a major update is a brand new weapon or balance changes. Now, I am comparing an update that is made in 2020 to one that was made in 2014, which probably isn't all that fair. The end of the line update, it just was a little bit disappointing for what everybody ended up expecting, because they released the SFM trailer first and then took the map out that was meant to be part of the update. Not the smartest move, but whatever, we'll move on. The next update that I wanted to talk about is probably the most controversial update I think there has ever been in TF2, or at least during my time playing, that is. And that is the Meet Your Match update. This was the update where the matchmaking system completely changed in TF2, where we went from having quick play to having a casual queuing system and competitive matchmaking. Also, pastime was added in this update too, because so many people ended up playing that, I actually, kind of miss it. You had people on both sides saying this way of finding games was a lot better than we had before, and some people who absolutely hated this update. I remember so many people quit because of this update as well, and it genuinely at some points during 2016 felt like this was the make or break of the entire game. People had so much hope riding on this update, and a lot of us got exactly what we wanted, and a lot of us felt really, really let down. TF2 could have died in 2016 if the Meet Your Match update was absolutely horrific. I genuinely believe that. Luckily, that didn't happen, but it was a little bit scary for a while. Personally, I didn't hate this update, but if you look back on what this update added, how much of it actually gets any use anymore? I don't think pastime is thriving that much, and the competitive mode has been dead for years. Even though Valve tried to revive it a couple of years later, it feels as though that game mode is basically a relic of the TF2 versus Overwatch war that was happening back then. Valve were under a lot of pressure to get some sort of matchmaking system out because Overwatch had released comp within like a month of the game coming out, and a lot of people wanted TF2 to have the same thing. Did TF2 need it? I don't really know. I liked the idea of it, but I don't think it was done amazingly well, and I don't think the community as a whole were really that interested in being competitive in this game. I feel like that's a whole topic for another video. I'm not going to try and tackle that one right now. The casual matchmaking, though, is much better than it was when the update first came out, which is good. Even though the stupid badge also doesn't do anything but look cool just kind of sitting there, it is a nice touch. I wish it was a medal that you could wear or something though, but it's whatever, it's there, it looks cool. I like leveling it up even though I don't get anything for it. This one again just wasn't an update that ended up living up to the hype that people were building, which I honestly think would have been really hard for Valve to actually do at the time, so I don't think this update, like flopping in a way, was solely their fault. But a lot of people really weren't fans of this update. I was fine with it, but since it was so controversial, it just had to be in this video. Now, I have to be honest, I had a lot of trouble picking a third update to talk about in this video, because anything past 2012, I wasn't there for, so I can't say, oh, that one sucked, because I wasn't there. So I think I have to say, it's a mix of both the Scream Fortress and the Smithmas updates from 2019. They were both just seasonal events, and that was honestly about it. It kind of felt that once you looked through the workshop pages of what just got accepted into the game, then the update was pretty much over. Like, that was all the exciting stuff happening, and now it's just gone. At least with Scream Fortress, you get all of the previous years brought back each time, so 2019 had that going for it, but I think I'm comparing these updates to what we got for the 2020 versions of these updates, and the 2020 ones were so much better than what we got the year before that. We got spoiled last year in terms of these seasonal events being something that was actually exciting and actually something that was good, and you know, you had things to do in them. So if we get something like that again, then I will absolutely not complain. But yeah, 2019 seasonal events were a bit boring for me, I guess. There wasn't much to it, and there's really not much more I can say about them. Let me know in the comments what you guys think were the worst updates for you personally. I would love to hear what you think. And I would love to hear if your opinions are completely different to mine, because, you know, that's always interesting. Maybe some people absolutely hated Jungle Inferno. Maybe some people hated a bunch of the updates that I really like. I want to know, so please tell me. Also, while you're down there, you could also leave this video a like and also subscribe if you feel like it. That would be really cool of you. Also, there is a Discord link if you wanted to join that. There's a Patreon link if you wanted to support me there for whatever reason. And there's also a merch link down below if you wanted to buy yourself some Spikey Mikey merch. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.